Hello everyone. I don't want to make this video to doom post. I know you guys like to, you're complaining too much about the game, but that's not the point of this video. This video is actually to discuss the situation of Throne, like on actual factual reports around the game and information that I could gather of like the situation right now, the situation in the past, and the situation for the future of the game. Because there's a lot of people that keep doom posting, and they do have some reason on it. A lot of people are asking me every day on my like Discord or global chat or DMs on the game, oh, is Throne dying? What do you think Throne's gonna survive next year? Is the game dying? And you see posts on Reddit and everywhere, and that's normal when the game gets to a lower player base. Of course, that happens from like all the way from the start until the end, because that's natural from like gamers nowadays. But it's fair to ask about this situation, since the game is again peaking at the lowest population that we had since pre-hyper boost. So it's no news that the game lost a lot of players from the start due to how the monetization. While I don't think it's that bad, of course, it's very aggressive for free-to-play players, casual players, and there's a big gap on the gear on the start of every tier, every season. That is a factual thing, and that does drive people away that just want a plenty fair fight, even though I don't think that exists in like 99% of the games, probably, because their RMT is gonna exist in every single game that has a trade system or even just auction system overall. But regardless, moving on to the point, I think Throne nowadays is way more friendly for new players and for players overall. If it had released without the quality of lives and the content we have nowadays, in the past, it would do much better. But during this time, there was a lot of players that could like just do the PvP, dominate everything, and bring everything for the PvEers. Even on their PvE aspects of the game, there was a lot of things that you could do to kill those players and ruin their fun. So yeah, Throne had a lot of issues that got like ironed out over time, and that should have been improving the game. But of course, that was not enough, because Throne becomes a chore that you gotta do every day and causes a lot of burnout, and a lot of people quit due to many things in the game. Just not just that, the balance. There's a bunch of things. But regardless, so the game lost a lot of players. During here, we had the first merge. That didn't save the game. A lot of people quit, because when you are not the top dog in the game, you don't get anything. You end up quitting. That's a lot of guilds that go like, oh, I like PvP, I like blah, blah, blah. But the moment they lose dominance, they transfer it away, or they quit the game, because that's Throne and Liberty. I think the core problem here is just the design, where the top dog gets everything, the second place gets nothing, just waste time like coordinating a guild, organizing like, and getting their players poached, because that's how the game works. But I think if Throne had like a second place system, third place, like tier 1 Archboss, tier 2 Archboss, tier 3 Archboss, and things like that, to kind of at least give the reward, a prize to the second place that is trying to fight, to compete, so they can keep motivated to at least keep trying to aim for the second place, have an ecosystem of like first, second, third place, so you don't feel like that frustrating of like one winner and everyone else loses, right? I think the game would have done a lot better, but regardless, it got here. This is the launch of Talundra, so we got like a bump of 20,000 players. And as the season went over, we lost more and more players, because the core problems were still here. We still have a game that is just like a daily job with an unbalanced system, right? With no second place winner and things like that. And then we got at the lowest point over time around here. And then we got the Hyper Boost launch here. I'm gonna close up my zoom here on things. So we were at 13,000 players, then we got the Hyper Boost, which we bumped to 28,000 players. And right now, it's not fair because it's not peak, but let's grab the peak of this day. We had like 16,000 players. There's probably less. Yeah, we had like, let's grab the peak from, yeah, around like this week. The peak is like 30.5 thousand players, which is really, really low. Probably it's like the lowest we had in a while. So because of IO launch, but it doesn't really affect that much. So what I'm trying to say is we got a bunch of players. The Hyperboost was a fumble, like on the service itself. The Hyperboost system itself was not the worst, but they gave a bunch of really weird gear for like the new players as well, which I guess it's a beginning. But the biggest problem I think was the orb not being adjusted anytime soon, which kill all the momentum for the game. Because like if you're a new player trying to get into the game, you don't know about classes, you don't know about systems, you don't know about gear, and now everyone is just playing orb crossbow, and no one wants to invite you to the party. Everyone that has higher gear score already just want to do their things faster with people that they know. So I'm, for example, guilty for it. I only would pick like 7.5, 7,000 plus gear score to rush my dungeons and do that very quick. Because to me, at this point, I have been doing that for a year, and it became a chore, right? It became literally a job. So I would just want to do it the quickest possible so I can do something else or do other things in the game. So I think all of that contributed like to new players' retention not being there, not being able to hold those players. And I think this is something that Throne's gonna have to work on. The first thing, I think they have to simplify the systems, because honestly it's way too many systems for a new player to get in and understand without having to watch like videos and wasting their time on it. And no new player is gonna truly waste, like, they don't even watch a 5 minutes dungeon on like the mechanics. Do you think they're gonna watch like 2 hours of Grob's tutorial, which is amazing by the way, has all the info you need? But people that are casual are not gonna waste 2 hours of their free time to understand everything about the game. So I really think Throne should simplify this system right now and find a way to include new players and old players together again, because before we had the random rewards, which was a good motivation for old players to join up with new players and carry them, kinda. But nowadays everyone just does party bar on trials, and new players just literally rot and die. Which is, it's very sad, but that's the truth of the game. So the other thing that I want to discuss is like, other than player retention, what we have for Throne in the future. And this is from Whelps. Shout out to him that he translated. This is a roadmap that we got 2 months ago, and we didn't get some things here. Artifact rework we didn't get. We got some new trials. We didn't get rune per set yet. We got the ascended card in Deluzhnoa, the whale nodes for the new furniture. We did get those. I don't know if that's the same thing. The Time Rift Portal event is what we got right now, which is pretty bad, to be honest. I probably need to make a video on that, but it's so boring. We're gonna get new tier 3 gear, so I assume the Abyss Dungeon is that. The armor skill cards, that's kind of crazy. We'll see what this is. Maybe that's the new tier 3 gear. If that's the case, that's insane. New trial dungeon, I think that's just more trials. But I think there's a Tower of Greed here. Okay, that's the one I was gonna come, the new solo content. Wargames rework, I didn't hear much about it. Housing update, I heard some things about it, but not that big of a deal. Toy Expedition rework, I have no idea what it is. Christmas event is expected. But yeah, we still have some stuff to get, like server versus server battlefield. I wonder if it's like a specialized battlegrounds. I mean, we already kind of have it, so maybe it's gonna be just a new game mode, new feature. I don't know. Those are rough translations, so be aware of that. So everything that is here is probably like just translated to try to fit the game, and things can change, like name of things can change. So yeah, this is what we should be expecting so far. More solo content. Some reworks on things that should have been reworked like months ago. I know why it's taking so long to simplify things, honestly. The events have been bad so far. This server versus server Tower of Greed, maybe it's the new game modes that can help keep the game healthy. The biggest thing is the new raid that we're gonna get next year, and the new zone that we're gonna get next year, which is Nyx. What scares me on this schedule is there's nothing mentioning gloves, like gauntlets, which was the new weapon leaked almost like, what, 6 to 8 months ago? So no information on that worries me, because that means we only got ARB and we're not getting a new weapon yet, which is a thing that makes people test things. The new zone has been delayed as far as I'm aware compared to what it was listed before, so that's pretty worrisome. And after that, we don't have more information from what I have searched about the future of the game. So that makes me question, like, if this doesn't do well, if this doesn't boost the number of Throne players, I actually think the game is gonna be in a rough position, because if you go to the past in the Korean patch notes before the global release, you're gonna notice between every update there was a gap of like 1 or 2 years from a major zone update, and on global release we got those in like 6 months to a year. So we are getting a new zone from this, and if you think about it, Talandre on itself didn't release that long ago. It was released like on March, so it's been what, like 9 months maybe. So we are only waiting like almost less than a year probably for a new region. But after this new region, how long is it gonna take to get a new region? Are we gonna get a new region? Because after this, it has been around 2 years since Korea got a new update. They're gonna get Nix in 2 years, and they're gonna get it like in almost a year. Is it gonna take 2 years to get a new zone again? Because if that's the case, that's 2 years without like a major content, and that's mega worrisome. But yeah, that's what we know so far. This is my biggest worry. If we don't get a player increase on the game from the next 3 to 6 months, I think the game is gonna die. But I think if Nick succeed and Tower of Greed and several whatever game mode they introduce succeed, then we're gonna be fine. We just really need to be careful on the line that we have right now of these 13,000 players. If we start going like lower and lower than this, then we're gonna be in a really bad position. I want to visit some of the numbers behind it. I tried my best to search and understand because I'm no economist and I did need to like search about a bunch of things and try to find some really weird articles that is in Korea. So like I was very confusing, but basically what you need to know here is a Q2 sale from like report from NCSoft in 2025, and Throne is basically this royalty line here. So you can see like Throne was here, right? It got released last year on Q4 2024, right? And it did great, like increased the sales a lot. But then the first kill of this year, which was pre-Talandre or around Talandre release, got way less. And the last Q2, the last Q3, we are on Q4 right now, which is the quarter of the year. It decreased a little bit, but not that much. And was from everything that I searched about, even ChatGPT helped me. While NCSoft overall still have losses, which is kind of, it is what it is. The market overall seems to be in a bad position. Throne on itself, the royalty from it, the Amazon partnership actually is still profitable. That means Throne has is still giving them money, so they're not just gonna cut Throne as long as it's profitable. So for now we are fine, but we really gotta watch out for the future on the next 3 to 6 months, which are gonna definitely define the situation of the game overall. I believe until the launch of Nyx we're gonna be totally fine, but if that launch flops, then it's gonna be rough. Thing that you can pay attention as well is how does this Throne situation happens. We have Amazon, which is the publisher, right? We have the NCSoft, which is, from what I understand, kind of also the publisher in Korea. Like, it's the owner of the game, but the actual business that is developing Throne is First Spark Games. I think it's First Spark Games, the name, and they got not released, but they got more independency on the start of the year, on the Q1 of 2025, and but that means they are also more on their own from what I read. So I don't know if that's really good or really bad, but one thing that we gotta be aware is there's the Throne mobile being developed as well. So it's very possible that they grab the resources from Throne and put into the mobile release, because Throne has been on a decaying grade for forever. So there's a good chance that they are putting most of their resources into developing or moving their assets from Throne PC to mobile, or because it's gonna be a different game from all my research. So there's also a good chance that even though Throne might keep the same numbers or keep surviving. It might not have the resources to keep producing after Nyx, because they are for sure producing the mobile Throne version. So right now it's pretty green. Oh my god, people in the streets, I hate recording in the morning, I'm sorry. But yeah, so from all this research, what I'm trying to say is Throne is doing fine right now. It's gonna survive for sure until the release of 2026 Nyx, so we probably have at least 4 to 6 months of content like guaranteed, still being developed, still being released. It's because the game was still profitable in the last quarter. But if after this the game does not recover on numbers, it's gonna die. You can be sure it's gonna die. If the numbers start going up and the revenue and the sales keep being positive, it's gonna survive. But there is always the danger of they moving the resources to the mobile development of Throne, because of course a launch of like a mobile is gonna probably net them a lot more profit than the current situation that Throne is in. So that's my report on Throne. That's like the actual real situation of it, mixed with like my opinion on everything. I think Throne is actually a really decent MMO in a lot of aspects, and I think it's in a really good position compared to before. I just think the market and the image it created for itself has not been really good at all in the last year. So that's a thing that they're gonna have to work really hard to change. Maybe focusing on more the social aspects. They already start doing more servers with the Hyperboost not merging. So they want to have like more players getting more Archbosses and more spreading to their own niches and kingdoms, right? Their own dominant small little servers. So I wonder what's their idea for the future. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. This video ended up being way longer than I expected. I hope this helps you to clear your thoughts and your vision on what you think about Throne. I try to be the least like the most neutral possible, using like actual information that I could scatter around online. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.